Well, good evening, personal chefs. Actually, maybe good afternoon, depending on which part of the world you're in. But this is Larry Lynch from U.S. Personal Chef Association, and I'm thrilled to be sitting in my car. This is how important this is, with a chance to join all of you and Chef Deb Cantrell tonight to talk about Feast or Famine, the revenue cycle in 2024. As all of you are thinking about the things you can do in your business, you want to do in your business, this is your chance to engage with Chef Deb and hear from her and talk with her. It's a little one-on-one opportunity here. Housekeeping simple. I don't have to tell you where the bathrooms are because you're either at home or someplace where you know where they are. But I will tell you that you can engage with us tonight, and we look forward to that. If you go down to the very bottom of your screen, you'll see what's called Q&A. Just simply click there. I'll be monitoring those questions and answers. Actually, we're monitoring the questions. Deb's got the answers. But I'll kind of interject tonight when we see any questions in there, so you'll make sure that you get the responses right away. And then anything that Deb needs to share with you, we'll share in chat. So those are the two big buttons you need to be paying attention to. If you're ready to go crazy, we haven't seen your question yet, you can see where you can raise your hand. Again, I'll be watching all of this on Deb's behalf so she can focus on teaching you. So Deb, I don't think you need an intro at this point, do you? I think everybody
No.
knows who you are. So let's just get live with Chef Deb and Feast or Famine revenue cycle in 2024. Deb, it's all yours.
Thank you, Larry. Hi, everyone. It's a little frustrating for me to give a presentation like this because I can't see all of your faces. So bear with me. That's also why Larry said that he would moderate everything. I love to give webinars and workshops and talks very conversationally. So this is not me talking at you. I'm going to share information with you, and then if you have a question, just make sure and put it down in the Q&A section. Larry said that he would stop me. We would answer questions right then and there, because again, I like it to be very conversational. I've also learned over the years, I've been in business for 21 years. I own a company called Savor. Savor doesn't have the issues of the feast and the famine and the inconsistent income. I fixed that honestly probably about 15 years ago. It's a well over 7-figure company. Yes, you can do that in our world. And I also have a coaching and consulting business as well to help culinary business owners grow. With all of that to be said, what I've learned over the years with doing all these presentations is there's usually somebody out there that needs more of an explanation, or they feel a little uncomfortable asking questions in a group setting like this, even if it is digitally. So in the chat, Larry is going to put my personal email address. Yes, it's personal. Yes, I will answer you. And no, I will not sell you anything. I've been a part of this association for 20 years. And we're here to help each other out. So I want you to use that email address. If you need it at all, it's there if you need more explanation on anything. What I'm going to teach you today is my opinion, what I've used in my company for 21 years, as well as other people's company. There are tried and true techniques. It is not the end all that be all as far as how to create consistent income in your culinary business. And I also want you to understand, because I know the way that your brain works, you're thinking to yourself, it's almost June. Like, what shot do I have about creating consistent income now? And the other thing you're saying is, really? It's summer. I don't have any income right now, or a lot of my clients left. There are some things that you can do quite a lot to make sure that you do have consistent income. You just have to be open. So whatever you're coming with today, the kids are sick, the dog is sick, maybe you have employees and somebody didn't show up, or you lost a big client today, or something canceled, or the car died, or whatever it is. All I'm going to ask you is today, just put that aside while you're here and really, really listen. Because if you have kids coming in and out, or the phone ringing, or somebody's asking about, what's for dinner, then you're not going to be able to hear me. And again, I strongly encourage you to ask questions, but also you will have my email address. I can't see the chat or the Q&A, so Larry will definitely put that in there. Okay. One of the first things that I always work with people on, and I cannot drive home enough for you, there will always, always, always be a reason that working in your business takes precedence over working on it. I tell people all the time, you cannot grow your business and create consistent income if all you do is constantly work in your business and you never work on it. And you never work on it. The honest truth is that in 1 hour, I can show you how to keep the cash flow from being an obstacle for the remainder of 2024. Take this time to work on your business right now and not in it. The reason why I start with this is because so many of you on this webinar today are so worried about making money that there's no time for anything else. You are driving yourself into a wall. If there's a minute in the day, you take a client. If you wake up, you're thinking about business. If you constantly work in your business and you never work on it, you're going to hit a wall. And at some point, there's only so many hours in the day. There's only so much of you you're going to burn out. And I'm going to get that phone call, or a friend of yours is going to get that phone call. And I'm going to hear, if this is success, I don't want it. So what I really want you to think about today as we go through all of this is, what do you want your life to look like? So many people build a business and then they say, I'll have a life. I'll work my butt off. I won't sleep. And then I'll have all this, and then I will then have a life. It doesn't work that way. When you decide to design your life first and a business that supports that life, you are going to be surprised. Even that decision will help you have consistent income. So here's the things that we're going to talk about. We can't go in depth in all of them. So that's why I encourage you to ask questions. That's why I encourage you to email me as well. I need to help you understand your vision. That is not frou-frou. That's not hooey. That's not mindset stuff. I'm going to go into it a little bit further. It's kind of like getting in your car and just kind of pointing it in a direction and hope you get there. You have to have the map. Build your life first, and then a business that supports that life. Create a healthy relationship with fear. The reason why I say that, and again, some of you are going, well, I'm fearless. No, you're not. Some of you, everybody has fear. It is your relationship with fear. In my coaching programs, we have 3 different tiers, depending upon how long you've been in business and the total sales you make in business. I have studied it ad nauseum. I have studied it for 15 years. There's only one thing, and only one thing, that causes you to grow a business, make the decisions, and have consistent income, and that is your relationship with fear. You do it anyway, even if you're scared of it. Because you guys, let me tell you, the committees you have in your head, you guys have given them a flow chart. You guys have written job descriptions for them. And some of you have given them raises. You guys need to fire the committees in your head. We're going to look at evaluating current income streams. We're going to create new offerings and services. I'm going to introduce this to you, the difference between finding and attracting your ideal client. We're also going to talk a little bit about marketing. So, Larry, are we doing okay? I see 2 people in the chat with questions.
Actually, those 2 were me. That one was your email, and the other one was me letting folks know that if this is going to be recorded in case they need to get back to it. So we're all good.
Got it. Thanks. Okay. One of the things that I've talked about from the very beginning is build your life first, and then a business that supports that life. When you create a business that does not run you, and if it continues to run you, then you are an employee in your own business. When you choose to have a business that does not run you, when you make those decisions, you spend the money that you don't have, you hire the staff that you may not know how to hire, maybe you move into a commercial kitchen, maybe you start an offering, and you have absolutely no clue if it's going to work or not. That is the point when you will start to have more consistent income. When a business runs you, you become an employee of that business. And let me tell you, I used to make a heck of a lot more as an employee, but now as the business owner, I make even more. As an employee, you didn't get to choose your own hours. Somebody controlled your life while you were there 8 to 5. Well, now your business is controlling you. I want to show you today that that does not have to happen, that you can build the life and the business that you want. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. When I mentioned your relationship with fear, if anybody recognizes this picture, there's a book called The Big Leap. And if you if you are that person that's fearful, if you have a committee in your head, if you have those family members that constantly are in your head, you cannot figure out why you can't move forward, I strongly, strongly recommend that book. But one of the things that I've been talking about is your relationship with fear. It is not that we don't have it. It is what you choose to do with it. I was telling Larry just now before when we were getting all of these things together that all in this past probably 2 weeks, I have 3 delivery vehicles. One of my delivery vehicles died. I had a electrical fire in my kitchen. My ice maker died and my oven went out, and there were some other things that happened. Before, that would have devastated me. I was actually on vacation in Napa when most of these things happened, and my staff called and I said, okay, fine. So we buy another vehicle. Okay, fine. So we get another oven or we get it fixed. Okay, fine. So is everybody okay? We called the fire department. Let's get an electrician out there. Whenever I have about every 3 years, I have chosen to invest in my company. Rather, it is a marketing company that I thought I couldn't afford, or it might have been a business coach that I thought I couldn't afford, or maybe it was to hire a manager for a strategic area in my company. Every single time that I said yes, without even knowing, my company grew exponentially. Many times it is having faith and making decisions you are really, really uncomfortable with. But I don't want to leave you with the word faith, as in you just willy-nilly make it. You have to make the decision, because if you don't, whatever it is you're sitting on right now, because if you don't, what you're telling your business is that you don't trust your business enough to grow. You're telling yourself you're not a good enough business owner to grow. And I know that some of you are sitting there thinking to yourself, she does not know my situation. She does not know my credit card balance. She does not know the college debt or what I'm trying to pay for college. She does not know my house payment. What I want to tell you is you are not special. You're not a snowflake. We all have situations where we could have stopped and said, I can't because. If I would have said I can't because, and others that have gone on to do this as well, none of this would have grown to where we are. The thing is you have to make a smart decision, and then you have to have the plan to make sure that that decision is executed. That's the gap. See where that fish is jumping? That airspace right there is that gap, because many of you jump with zero plan of how to execute or spend the money or hire the marketing company or any of those things to make sure that you land in that bigger bowl. So many people talk you into the next thing and you do it, but then you don't have the plan. The first step, though, is that relationship with fear, getting over it to hire the first employee, even if you don't have a clue how. There's lots of help out there for that. Okay. Here's one of the other things that I see that many, many business owners make. You must work on it as much as you work in it. Part of you coming to this webinar today is you working on your business and not in it. I had a mentor one time that told me the most valuable thing that you can do for your business is have breathing room and time to simply think about the business and decisions that need to be made. Because what we do as business owners, especially for the first couple of years, is we take anything and everything for the sake of making money. If you continue to grow a business and you take everything and anything for the sake of making money, you will always take everything and anything for the sake of making money. You must have a admin day so all those balls don't drop. You must have an admin day to post some things on social media, go to a networking group. Some of you are even behind on your invoicing because you don't even have time to invoice a client, but yet you keep cooking for them. Eventually, something will come along. It may be a health crisis that stops you dead in your tracks, because this happened to me. Several years ago, I was running my coaching company and I was running Saver. And let me tell you, fear was not my issue. Fearless was my issue. I said, yes, I had the plan. I was growing. I was doing all the things. I was hiring, but I also didn't stop and evaluate. I went to the doctor at 8:30 in the morning. 8:30 in the morning, my blood pressure was 190 over 93. And that doctor looked at me and said, this has got to stop now. So he stopped me. I've heard nightmare stories of you guys go nonstop. And then the minute you get sick, you cancel 5 clients, and all of a sudden you think, oh my God, my business is over. Where's my income going to come from? So you have to stop and build your business smartly, because that one day that you will take for admin work, I didn't say you were working the other 6, but the one day plus at least one day that you have completely off will change your business immensely, because balls will stop dropping. I hope this is making sense to somebody out there, because it is a very different mindset to realize that one of the best things you can do is actually walk away from your business and stop working in it so that you can actually work on it. And many of you will be shocked if I tell you, if you really want to grow your business, you should take a vacation. You're going to be shocked what happens when you take your negative energy out of your business, how many clients will actually come through the door, because you guys are gripping so tightly that all that positive energy and that flow can't come in. Your business is a living, breathing thing. You're spewing that all over it. Okay. This goes along, and I love quote, a tree with strong roots can withstand the most violent storm, but the tree can't grow roots just as the storm appears on the horizon. The reason why I put this in here is because it's kind of like what I was talking about. Some of you are running on empty, or some of you know you need to make a decision in your company, or some of you need to hire so you can grow and create consistent income, but you haven't done anything to develop those roots. And the minute you get sick, the minute you lose that really big client, the minute that a commercial kitchen falls through, or the minute you burn, and all of a sudden you're like, well, my life is over. I got to shut down my business. That's because you have to start to develop those strong roots and make better decisions for the long run, for your vision. Let me help you to understand why your vision is so important. And again, vision for your life as well as your business, okay? So many times so I want to stop and just ask you guys a question. Here's the question. What do you want to do with this business? I don't even have to see your faces. Some of you are like, I don't know. I get up and I cook for my clients, and there's these finishing or these reheating instructions, and then there's some labels, and I go to the grocery store, and I don't know, I get up and do it all over again. Or I think I want probably, I don't know, 10 clients a week and maybe a couple of staff members, or some of you maybe I want multiple locations and I want a staff of 20 and I want delivery vehicles, and that's fine, but that's not your vision. Until you understand your vision and stop just taking business for the sake of being in business, you're going to be shocked what happens. When you decide what the end result is for your company and for your life, are you going to sell it? Are you going to franchise it? Are you going to shut it down? There's nothing wrong with shutting it down. Are you going to will it to a family member? Until you decide where you're going, what this end result is, and what your business looks like when you're done, maybe it's an active retirement. We have lots of people on today that have this business because it's an active retirement. When you decide what the end result is, it's going to change the decisions that you make now. Once you understand that one day that you are going to have 3 storefronts with a commercial kitchen, you're going to be known for culinary medicine. That's my company, culinary medicine company. We do personal chef services. We do private flight catering. We do regular catering. That's it. I don't do cooking classes. I don't do anything else that so many people think of doing with businesses like ours. Those are the 3 things that make me money. And when I sell this company one day, those are the 3 offerings that will go with it. I understand who my target market is. Now, when I came to this realization of understanding my target market and understanding my vision, all of a sudden my path to get there became clearer, because now when somebody said, hey, I know it's not on your website, but could you cater for 350 people? No, thank you. You won't be able to afford me. I'm not your fit. I know it's not on your website, but can you come teach us how to cook? You do not want me nor any of my staff members teaching you how to cook. That is not what we do. You have to say no to so many things so you can start saying yes to more of the right things that will get you to that end result, that vision that you're looking for, those services that you're going to have. Because when you start saying no to the wrong things and charging what you're worth, you're going to be shocked that you will not feel bad about saying no, because the right things are going to come and bring you more money. So I really encourage you today that when I asked you that question of what do you want for your business? What's the end result for your business? If you absolutely didn't know, that should be a red flag to you, because you are past, well, I've got a business card and a business name and I cook sometime. You're past that. You all are. So if you were shocked or stumped and said, I have absolutely no idea, or maybe filled it with who you like to cook for, I need you to think so much past that and use that as a way to grow your business and create consistent income. This next topic is something that's going to hit home really, really hard. Some of you are not going to like me for this, but if you know me, you also know I don't care. I am not here for you to like me. I have the saying, especially when I have my workshops called Sharpen, that love me or hate me, there's no money in the middle. I'm here to tell you the facts of things. The difference between finding and attracting your ideal client. So many times I hear things like, how do I find rich clients? You don't want to find rich clients. You want to attract high net worth individuals because of the brand that you have built. That right there is very long-standing. Finding them, you're not ever going to find them. You want to attract them. And here's why this is about to be really unpopular. Because if you do have your cell phone in front of you, please don't click off of this and go to any website that I'm about to talk to you about. I want you to grab your phones, okay? So When you have your ideal client that pays you what you're worth, offering services that you know that your ideal client wants, or maybe you don't care if they want them and you want to do personal chef services and catering. Fantastic. You have to create a brand and a website that attracts them. It is the only way that you're going to have consistent income. This is what I mean by this. Okay. See this? Do you know that if you were to go to either one of these websites, they both say they have the same target market? I'm telling you, this is on the Ling's Cars. That's a real website. It's real. He talks about luxury brands. He talks about knowing his ideal target market. He does. Whereas I'm sure that most all of you, if not all of you, serve a higher end clientele. If you were to think about your clients, even if you've had 1 or 50, they probably drive luxury cars. Their kids probably play select sports. They've probably graduated from a college. They probably have artwork. They probably live in an affluent area of town. Okay. They take vacations out of the country. Well, what you need to understand is they are used to buying from companies that understand them and their buyer behavior. So if you think about your ideal client, pick one in your head, do you think they would be attracted to a Mercedes website, or Ling's Car website? Do you think if they went to the Ritz-Carlton website in the Maldives, that the Ritz-Carlton in the Maldives probably is using language and pictures and copy because they understand their ideal target market? As opposed to, we're pretty sure Ling got it wrong. Okay? The beauty of it is, and you're about to never look at your website the same. The beauty of it is, what I just told you was Mercedes, BMW, the Ritz-Carlton, Food and Wine magazine, all have already done the research on how to attract your ideal client market. Your ideal client. They've already done the research for you. They spent millions of dollars on marketing to find your ideal client. Your ideal client is their ideal client. So what I want you to do is I want you, and whenever you have time, is later, go on the Ritz-Carlton website. I want you to see the pictures they use. They are not your iPhone photos of beef stew. No one fried fish and shoved it in a window and then put it on the Aston Martin website. They didn't do it. No one took a picture of their family at a picnic table and put it on their website. I want you to look. Go ahead and pull up your website now while I'm finishing this on your phone. And I want you to look at it now through the eyes of your ideal client. One, from the buyer behavior perspective of who and what they're used to buying from. Does your website look like a Ritz-Carlton, a Maldives, an Aston Martin, a whatever website? Or does it look closer to Ling's website? But Ling says he serves the same people. If all you learn from this is the fact that you can go on the Ritz-Carlton, Food and Wine magazine, whatever it is, and don't copyright, but use some of the same verbiage and language on your website to attract them, then fantastic. I'm glad that at least you've learned that. But if you want to attract, not find, attract an ideal client for the longevity of your business to create consistent income, then you need to invest in a brand and a website that your ideal client is used to buying from. I hope this is making sense. Okay. So often I hear that, you know what, I think I'm just going to coast in business for a little bit. I think that I'm good right here. I am not saying that you constantly have to build, 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 grow, 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 because there are seasons in business for a reason, just like there's seasons in nature for a reason. There's times to grow, there's times to rest, there's times to lay dormant, but a business only exists in two states. You are either growing or you are dying. There is no, I'm just going to let my business ride for the summer. This is all the business I want right here. I'm good where we are. Your business is either growing or it is dying. It is not neutral. It's just not letting it ride. It doesn't exist in two states. Business, it can't happen in business that way. Ling is probably letting his business ride, to be honest with you. Okay, here is the fun part. Evaluating your current income streams. Are they still relevant or are you just staying busy? I have to be honest with you. When I did this with one of my business coaches, I had to ask her for a second page. She said, you should not have that many ways to make money, because when you have a ton of different ways to make money, what happens is you don't have one or two ways that bring you the most amount of money. You are not known for anything. It does something called diluting your brand, because no one knows what to buy from you. You are not the go-to thing. So many times I hear, who's your ideal client? Well, anybody will let me apply fire to food. Oh no, no, no. So you can, if you want this work, you can download this worksheet. No, I'm not going to spam you to death. There's a QR code right there. If you want a copy of this worksheet, you're more than welcome to it. If you don't know how or don't want to do the QR code, this is a really simple worksheet that you can do. On the left, you list all the products and services that you have in your company. If it makes you money, you list it. Could be personal chef services, catering, private flight catering, cooking classes, pop-up dinners, because I kind of want you to expound on the catering just a little bit. Some of you had food products. Put them all down. What I want you to do is then list the price for that thing. If you did it one time, if you sold the one jar, if you did the one cooking class, if you did one personal chef service, if you did one catering, on average, what you charge for that one time. Most of the time, the average chef fee across the country is 300-ish, 350 is normally what it is. How many of those you do per month? Do that for each one of them. Go all the way across. And then the total, while it doesn't say it, you actually want to put the total and then multiply that by 12. So 12 months, how much do you make in 12 months on that one thing? What you're going to start to see as you look at this is you're going to start to see really and truly the things that make you money, the one services that make you money. What happens is many times people think, well, I'm constantly busy with catering, It takes up all of my time. But yet you may look to see that those 5 personal chef clients brought you more money in consistent income every month or by the end of the year than those one-off caterings did. I'm not saying to get rid of catering. What I'm saying is pay attention to what brings you the most amount of money for the least amount of time. I tell my coaching clients all the time, you really want 3, no more than 4 ways to make money. Your main thing that brings you the chunks of cash, as much consistent income as possible. And then 2 or 3 other things that whenever you're in a slow season, you can bump up the marketing on those 1 or 2 other things so that you can really diversify your offerings, no more than 3 or 4. You can market 3 or 4 effectively. You have different times of year where each one will be needed more. And because what happened when the pandemic hit? If the pandemic hit and you were not all of a sudden pushing personal chef services and really downplaying your catering or no catering at all, you missed out on a great opportunity. But what happens then is as soon as kind of we were coming out of the pandemic, you noticed that people were starting to have more parties and what I call pop-up weddings and last minute things. Everything was last minute. And then all of a sudden, if you had a catering offering, now you can put your catering offering and maybe your personal chef offering or marketing kind of took the back burner. Then occasionally, if you want to throw in cooking classes, no more than 3 or 4 things. Most people are shocked when they do this, that they have 6 things on this list. And let's pick on cooking classes, made them $1,000 last year, and they sold 42 of them, but yet their personal chef services made them 30,000, and they only did that a few times a week. So that's what this is an exercise is helping you to realize you don't need 1,000 different offerings. You only need to go deeper with 3 or 4, and then you can market it whenever you see the holes coming in your business for consistent income. If anybody needs help with this worksheet, you have my email address. I'm happy to help you work it out because I explained it kind of quickly. Now, this can be a dangerous subject because when I start talking about creating new offerings based on buyer behavior, I just told you that you don't want more than 3 or 4 offerings, okay? What this is to give you some inspiration in case you want to change an offering, if you want to add an offering and possibly get rid of an offering, but just to give you a little inspiration on what other people have done to fill in the gaps or create to help them create consistent income. We know that there's 5 things in business that make money. You add products to services. You can sell more to your clients you already serve. You can add more clients. Well, that's a no duh statement. Or you can go deeper and not wider. That's one of the things we were talking about. Stop having all the offerings and go deeper and not wider, or you can raise prices. Some of you are scared to death to raise prices. Did you know that you're going to think about it way harder and way longer than your client ever will? The hardest thing to do is to send that price increase email or make that phone call and hit send on that email. And they're like, okay, sure. And you agonize over it for weeks. But before you raise prices, some of you need to stop undercharging in the first place. And you know who you are. Okay, so let me go back to this a little bit. Oops, sorry, hang on. Okay. When we talk about 5 ways to make more money in business, I'm just going to give you some examples of what some other people have done. Maybe this will jar something for you out there. When you add a product to a service, what this means is think about for you women, or maybe some men that are here on the call today. Many of you may know the blowout bars, blow dry, the yellow. I don't remember the name of them right now, but they started out just doing blowouts. Well, they started adding products. So what some people have done is made a whole service out of products. So let me kind of explain. Many of you have sauces, you have jams and jellies, you have jerky, you have homemade pasta, you have whatever all of those things are. Some of you never think about offering an a la carte service around that, adding those on to your personal chef services, adding those on to catering. Here's an example of one person decided that with every catering, they were going to offer to leave a small brunch for the client in the morning. So they added on a brunch service. There was another client that the clients loved her moles so much whenever she used it in her personal chef service. She added a whole line of moles. She actually started another business around it. Her clients can add on jars of her moles, but now you can buy her moles through its own website. I have another client that with her personal chef services, people have always loved her jams and jellies that she made. She would incorporate those in. Well, what we did for her is she decided to create a jams and jellies membership to where she ships out 3 or 4 a month. There's a recipe that goes along with it. And then also she will go live and people can join her in making something with the jams and jellies. And also it's a cooking class while she's at it, which also creates marketing. Or you can just buy gift packs of her jams and jellies. There's another person that created a date night because they're already doing dinner parties. He got together the people that always want him to do dinner parties. He sold them into a membership for the entire year that they get one dinner party a month. And he charges their card whether they want the dinner party or not. That's completely up to them, but it's a date night dinner service that became a membership. So what I'm saying is don't create something completely new. Make sure it has something to do with your brand, but think outside the box of things that you can do based upon what you're already doing. If you love cooking classes, create a cooking class membership where they automatically get 2 or 3 a month and you automatically charge their card for it. And maybe on top of that, you'll bring in a guest instructor. Maybe on top of that, you'll send them a recipe that you personally walk them through every month virtually. There's so many different things that you can do. Last but not least, whenever you sell more to the clients you already serve, one of the big things I did many years ago is I stopped offering just dinner. I started offering snacks, breakfast, lunches, smoothies, and bone broths that they can add on to dinner. They can't get any of it unless they're getting dinner. So on my questionnaires, it will literally say which meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, how many servings of each, and how many days a week. So that by the time my staff gets to the food questionnaire, they want more than just dinner. Their chef fee became so much more than just dinner. I started making 40% more money when I started adding on these one-off different things. I hope this is making sense. Last but not least is consistent marketing. Now, what I did not say is you have to go hire a marketing firm. I didn't say that you have to go hire people. I didn't say that, I also didn't say that you had to all the time in the world to do marketing. I said consistent marketing. We have found over the years that there's something that's called top of mind marketing. That if you will just stay consistent in these things, you will find out that you will have more consistent clients as well as more revenue. If you will post on Facebook, that also will post on Instagram at least 3 times a week. 3 times a week. You don't have to post on both platforms, and we'll post on the other one. And use spell check, please, or at least Grammarly. Remember, ideal client buys from a company that understands. They don't expect you to spell things wrong. Go find, you can get a stock image, membership. You can download a few classes on how to take really great food photos. Your own photos that are not blurry are fine for social media. consistently post on social media. The second thing is show up in your community. So many of you build an island with your business. I hear, I hate social media. I don't like to talk to people and I don't understand marketing and I don't have enough money for my website, but I want more clients. You can't build an island and then expect people to find you. Go out in your community. If it makes sense for you to be at a high-end farmer's market so they can taste your food, fine. It may not work forever, but at least you're out in your community. If there is a networking group where your ideal target market is hanging out, not somebody that knows your ideal target market, but a group of CEOs, a group of established business owners, go be out in your community. If there's a charity event, not a silent auction, there's a charity event where you can give away a live on stage. I know it scares the bejesus out of some of you. There is no other time where you will have 150 to 200 people that are your ideal target market. You have to make sure the ticket prices are at least a couple $100 and you get a whole audience to tell people exactly who you are and what you do. You got to get out in your community. You will not find clients behind your stove or your desk. I've looked for them. They are not there. I promise you. You won't find them there. The last but not least is at least send an email a month to your list. Some of you don't have a list, and that is okay. It is time to start. Current clients, past clients, anybody that's asked you about services, send an email a month to your list, saying hi, sharing your latest event, sharing what to do with artichokes. There's so many things you can do. If any of you know how to use AI or Chat GPT, it can help you to understand. Please don't copy and paste. Use Chat GPT to get ideas. Consistent marketing that is free. You don't even have to pay anybody. You'd be surprised what will happen if you will just start there. Okay. And shortly, I want to know any questions that we have, but if you want more information on anything that we talked about, I usually do a workshop every year in January called Sharpen. I do an internal workshop for my coaching clients. And this year we're actually opening it up to anybody else that wants to join us. So if you want to be on the wait list for this to know about this workshop that will cover this and so much more, but closer at more of a kind of a CEO level, because my goal for each of you is to move you from behind your stove to CEO, and you want more information about this, this is not going to be expensive, I promise you. Less than $100 for a 2-day virtual workshop. Never open this up before to anybody but my coaching clients. Please use that QR code and you'll go on the list and we'll send you information about it. That is all you will hear about it. And again, you email me, there will be no sales. I'm here to answer your questions. Okay, Larry, do we have any questions that I can answer for anybody?
Not yet. I know Sue Snape. Yeah, let me try that one again. Sue Snape gave you a nice big hi and let you know she's with you, but
Oh,
no questions yet. Two things though, I want to help emphasize, Deb, and you were talking a bit about
okay.
ChatGPT. Please never
Mm-hmm.
use verbatim what ChatGPT gives you because it's coming from someplace else. Internet does a great job of assembling all that, putting it into the right kind of language. Also, when you request something from ChatGPT, be long and specific. Write a sentence. Don't just say, "What does this look like?" You want to be specific about the outcome. I mean, literally, it could be almost 2 sentences. But the more
Right.
detail you put the request in ChatGPT, the better the results are going to be. And then if I could throw one more one more AI suggestion out there to people, it's
Mm-hmm.
relatively inexpensive if they haven't looked at it yet. And that's Canva. I don't know if you used it or not yet, but Canva. It's a
The
great tool to
Canva
kind of
Pro
supplement your.
version works really well.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's a great little tool, particularly if you're doing social media. And you can use your own videos, you can use your own photography. They have stock that you don't have to worry about licensing. So there's a lot
All
of
right.
options out there that you can take a look at. So just a add that to it. A couple of really good tools. And then if I can, because I noticed we had another person at least join us since we started, and somebody else had said there was a little bit of dithering in the video, although it's been working great for me, which means the recording is going to work great. So we did record
Good.
this. We are recording this. It'll be up on the association's YouTube page, probably beginning of next week. We'll also get it emailed out to everybody, and we should be in good shape.
Larry, can I say one other thing about Chat GPT?
Always.
AI. Okay. For those of you guys too, at first, if any of you know me, I hate technology with a passion. Normally I screw up PowerPoint and all kind of other stuff, but apparently I don't let it stop me. But I was shocked at how it's helped me to plan menus, because I found a way that I can literally, so I do almost a master menu concept, because we cook for 40 to 50 families a week, give or take. And I have a master menu that it's an internal document that my staff develops. And then we customize our clients' menus according to their unique needs. I found out that if I will put that master menu in and my client's needs just one time and create a GPT around it, that it will plan my client's menu for me along with their special dietary needs. So just a little bit of help for any of you guys. You have to approve it, you have to look over it, but it really helps. It really helps a lot sometimes in planning menus
It can do a lot.
for
It
anybody.
can absolutely do a lot.
Yeah.
And it's free.
It is free, but do not put proprietary information in it, because
Nope.
it belongs to everybody once you do it. And you have to keep in mind that it's also everybody else's information as well.
Right.
So if you have it create a Facebook post for you, then you need to understand that you still need to massage it to match your own brand as well as your own target market. Don't just throw it up.
Read and
So
edit. Hey, Deb, we
read
do have a
it.
question from Casey Lancaster,
Yeah.
saying that I'm a
Hi.
personal chef for only a few years now. I only have a Facebook page to advertise online because a website takes so much work and money. Do you think a website is necessary?
So what I want to say to you is eventually, yes, it will become necessary, because your ideal client, as you post on social media, because what does social media do? Social media gives you public proof. It's kind of like our social proof. What social media does is it introduces you to the world and your ideal target, who will eventually go and look at a website to see if you're legit, look at your menus, look at all of those things. So if so I've worked with some people who have all the clients they needed just from Facebook, depending on the area that you're in. But eventually, yes, you cannot grow more where you want to grow without having a professional website. Your website, and some people do the opposite. Some people pay for a website, spend all their time and money, which is great, but they never give anybody their address. It's like building a home and never invite anybody to it. The way you invite people to it is through social media. So it all eventually works together. Is there another?
Perfect. Nothing else there. You obviously have answered everybody's questions without them having to ask them.
So that or confuse the hell out of everybody. Either one, I don't know which one I did. But anyways,
Well,
thank
just that
you. Thank
reminder
you all
too.
for. Mhm,
Was it Deb? Just that reminder. Your email address is in the chat, just as a
mhm.
reminder to everybody. So if they want to drop you a private note, they can. That'll be there.
I'd love to hear
Again,
from you.
this will be up next week, and we'll get that out to everybody.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody.
Deb, appreciate the help, and we'll see everybody again soon. Thanks so much.
Bye, Larry.
All right, bye bye, guys. Take care.